I always say I fell into investments by accident. I stumbled across investments in my second year at university. Novare is not about Ola or any one person for that matter. I always say the biggest asset that we have at Novare is the team.
Welcome to the Novare Thought Leadership Series.
We're in conversation today with Novare CEO Ola Leepile on the importance of the role of asset or investment consultants in driving transformation in the asset management sector in South Africa. We'll speak about his career journey in the financial services as well as his leadership style. And on that note, we get into the conversation then with Ola. Ola, a very good day and good to have you with us.
Thank you, Nosi, and thank you for having me.
So let's start then with your journey and talk to us about why investments then, because I know you also had, when you were looking at going into varsity, there was an issue around funding, but you managed to get a bursary. Talk to us about the beginning stages then of your career.
Yeah. And Nosi, I always say I fell into investments by accident. And it is an accident because there was no intention when I went to university to study investments. I stumbled across investments in my second year at university, and that's how I ended up majoring in finance. But before then, I was coming from Mafikeng, where, because we are a small town, one was exposed to a limited set of careers. And so I didn't know much about investments or many other careers for that matter. And when I got to Wits in my second year, I took finance, corporate finance and investments as an ancillary. And I fell in love with finance, and that was the beginning of my journey with finance. I then landed a job straight after university as an employee benefits consultant. So not quite an investment role just yet, but the intention was always to go into an investment, into investments. That role somewhat exposed me to certain aspects of investments. And then in 2005, Novare was looking for an analyst in the hedge fund space. And I applied and they accepted me, and I took an opportunity to formally enter the investment world as an investment professional.
Now, fast forward to leading one of the leading financial services players in the space. Talk to us about your leadership style and what sort of lessons or what lessons have you drawn then from your career into your leadership style?
Any role that one gets into, there'll be certain things that you can already do, but there's also a lot of learning on the job. And so, I think obviously, having been at Novare before, understanding the business, understanding the culture, understanding the people, and understanding what it is we are trying to achieve as a business, perhaps made me sort of an ideal candidate sort of to lead the business. But I do want to mention that I'm very much a team first type of guy, right? So Novare is not, while I'm the CEO of Novare, Novare is not about Ola or any one person for that matter. I always say the biggest asset that we have at Novare is the team. And I'm a firm believer that none of us is as smart as all of us. And so even though, I sort of occupy the seat or the position of CEO, it is the broader team that delivers a service to clients and that ultimately creates whatever value gets created at Novare, internally and externally.
Certainly. I want to get into Novare then, because you guys have a footprint across markets in Africa and also an established brand in investment solutions provider. Talk to us about what did it take then to arrive at that really enviable position and what it takes to remain at the top?
No, see, I don't necessarily believe that we are at the top. I think we are on a journey. And in that journey, we've had some successes, but we've also had some challenges. But as to how Novare was built, Novare was founded by two entrepreneurs who had a vision. But part of that vision was to always sort of have a strong team in place. And so, I mean, you hear me refer to the team a lot. And so, because that's what we believe, we exist and we will continue to exist if we continue to have a strong team. Without the team, we are nothing. But over and above that, it's an environment which is entrepreneurial. And so where we've spotted opportunities, we've pursued those opportunities. And in the pursuance of those opportunities, as I indicated earlier on, in some instances we've had successes, but in some instances we've had challenges, some of which we are dealing with and we deal with on a day-to-day basis. But the journey ahead is still long. I believe that our best days are still ahead of us, and let's see what happens.
And I want to fast forward then to 2019 when you talk about change, and that's when you led that management buyout. Talk to us about what led to this, and also what has been the journey so far.
Yeah. So, the transformation of journey of Novare goes back to 2003, Nosi. And here I must give credit to the founders because they'd always seen transformation as imperative to the success of the business. This business was founded in 2000, and in 2003, the founders sold a 26% stake in the business to Mvela Phanda. And in fact, in 2005, Mvela Phanda had upsized that stake to become a majority owner of the business. But then when Mvela Phanda was being unbundled, the founders bought back the stake and sold 26% to another outside shareholder who was empowered. And so I suppose the reason I'm giving you that background is to say, transformation to Novare is something that's always been important. It's not something that is, the importance of transformation is not recent. However, in 2019, one of the founders of the business expressed a desire to retire. And so we formed a management consortium and bought out his shareholding in the business. And that's what resulted in Novare being a majority Black-owned business, as well as a level 1B contributor. And I would say, that's how I ended up occupying the seat that I occupy today. And one would say the face of the business changed from a business that had its founders, but was in a new phase, which we actually internally termed Novare 2.0.
Certainly. Now, in developments in Novare, you've recently announced a partnership with an American firm to beneficiate rare minerals. Talk to us about how is that going? When can we expect it to break ground?
As I indicated to you, that Novare is, the growth of Novare has really been organic. So, we haven't really made any acquisitions per se. We've spotted opportunities and we've pursued those opportunities, right? And so that's typically how the business has grown. And this opportunity that you're talking about is testament to us always looking for new opportunities and obviously pursuing them. So what we've done on this space is that we've partnered with a company based in the US, in Indiana in the US, called ReElement Technologies. What this company does is that it has developed technology that refines critical minerals and rare earth elements. And what we are doing with them is that we will be setting up a refining facility in South Africa to refine critical minerals and rare earth elements, right? And the benefit of that would be that obviously there will be employment creation locally, but also there will be beneficiation of the minerals locally. So we will refine them to about 99% purity, 95% purity, whatever is required. And then we will be sort of adding value to the minerals before they're exported out of the country, and so employment creation. But over and above that, this technology that they have developed is also environmentally friendly. And so, from an impact perspective or climate perspective, we'll also be using technology that is environmentally friendly while creating employment at the same time.